else will break your heart. I'm never gonna hold you back. I'm always gonna have your back. So try to remember that.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday night. I have an update for you. I got over myself a little bit this morning, and I reached out to my niece first. And I needed to do that, and I feel good about that. Still a little bit of uncertainty around what's going to happen with her birthday, but at least I understand her position, and I got to remind myself I need to be an adult, and I need to be loving and kind all the time. I don't need to be a shithead. So thanks again for listening to me this morning on that. I had a thought as I was going through all the D words. So many people are participating in it, and they're doing such a good job. I can't just D for decide, and decisive was one of the words, but not one of the words that I picked. And if you're wondering, well, I'm not going to tell you guys how I pick. I think that'll take the fun away. So instead, I'm just going to tell you my winning words. And I didn't even pull them up yet to read definitions. I was laughing because when I was in rehab, we would have GA meetings, and they had I don't remember if it was like a bucket of numbers, maybe. Like, say there was 100 words on the wall, and I'm probably jacking up my memory here, but I think you'll get the premise. So let's say there was 100 words on the wall. They were all numbered, and then there might have been like a fishbowl with the numbers in them, and you pull out 2 numbers, say, and you align it with what the list is on the wall, and that was your topic that night. And that's what I kind of feel like this is. I didn't make that connection until today, but I'm having a lot of fun with this. I like positivity, and then I'm learning some stuff. I'm learning about, what people think. I'm asking people in the gambling rooms. So I love how there's so many recovery words with the letter of the day. Where on my private page, it's kind of a hodgepodge. So, all right. So here's the first one. And I love this one because this is the mode I feel like I'm in right now, in addition to being locked down to do it. But determined, or determination, firmness of purpose, resoluteness. I wonder if that's how you say resoluteness. The process of establishing something exactly by calculation or research. So like I made a determination. The controlling or deciding of something's nature or outcome. Okay, so when I said it, I meant it firmness of purpose, resoluteness. So the podcast is a great example. I had no flipping idea how to do a podcast, but I was determined I was going to do one, and I started planning it a year early, where I was emailing myself ideas, and I went shopping, and I found an online course, and it taught me how to do it, and I fought through the technology with tears. Luckily, one of my friends came over to help me. Maybe that's part of why I don't edit every episode too. Like I'm not down with that being perfect stuff, and that's okay. But I was determined to have a podcast, and it was really interesting because if you talk to other podcasters, they'll tell you that 10, 15 people will ask them, how do I start a podcast, and blah, blah, blah. And they learn after time, you invest all this time into helping someone, and then it doesn't come to fruition. So I was determined to have a podcast. I'm determined to not place a bet. I almost finished that sentence with ever again, which is highly inappropriate based on my brainwashing, right? One day at a time. Okay, seriously. I'm yawning again, and it's like it's in the same spot every day. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, so determined is a great everyday word, but it's also a great recovery word. And I hope that you find your determination and things that you could be determined about. If it's giving up a bet, if you're determined, you can get there. if it's getting promoted or winning your wife back. There's so many things, but I think determination plays a factor in it, and I think it's a fabulous attribute. The next one's another great attribute, and this showed up a lot. So there's two, I picked it because there was a lot of it, but also because it makes a lot of sense to me in recovery and in life. And the word was donate. And in a world of a little uncertainty and craze right now, there's been a lot of donating. There's been a lot of really powerful stories out there. People donating time, food, masks, whatever people could. We got a note yesterday internally. So I work for a grocery store. And there's a young girl, I think she's in college. She's a cashier. And someone was going through her line. And he came up short on money. And she just paid the bill. It was $250. She's a college kid. $250. So they wrote a nice letter about her. And it was, it's a beautiful story. She donated her money. And when they asked her why, she's like, well, I was, raised this way and I have good parents and, I want to help pay it forward. So donating is beautiful. Another example, maybe this is why it's on the radar too. In class last night, a lady told us a story about raising funds for a breast cancer fundraiser. And she was in management at a hotel. And, when you're raising money, sometimes it's awkward to ask people for money. So you try to just decide who you're going to ask and whatever. So she did that. So she decided she was going to ask the management staff and none of the frontline staff because she figured they had more money. She was like making assumptions. And she did it in some other scenarios, but to keep it brief, a maid comes up to her and gives her $100. And she was struggling to take the $100. And she's like, this is a lot of money. And the lady said, I know. And this is what I want to do. I'm adamant about you taking it. So the lady in class said that she asked the lady, why did she want to donate? And the lady's response was, I have 4 daughters at home and I don't want them to get breast cancer. She wanted to help with the cure for that. So a very beautiful story. And it goes to show you, you can't judge a book by the cover. You can't make assumptions about people. So I loved that because this is like Positive Nights. We got to come up with a fun night, right? Or a fun name. Positive, I don't know. We got to come up with something. Like Coping While Cooped is pretty fun, right? I know you are. I know you think so because I think so. All right, maybe you don't. I'm a little silly now. Sorry. This is my combination. Silly and sleepy. And Thursdays are my only day of the week where I'm not overcommitted on the evening. So I have one more call when I'm done with you. And then I am going to bed, hopefully by like 7 p.m. I need to recharge. And here's why. I'm going to use determined again. So this is why I want to go to bed early because I'm determined to not sleep past 4 or 4:30 every morning. I'm determined to get out on that bicycle every day. Like we have no excuse with the weather. And the days that I ride my bike and I come home and I write and I meditate and I play my music and I do all those things, those days come out better most of the time. So I'm determined to keep my morning routine and I'm determined to get some rest. All right, our final word for the night. And I would tell you that if it was up to me, like to put a word on somebody else's page, I probably would have put dessert because I'm all about the ice cream. But that's not the one I did. I picked delight or delightful. Oh, I didn't read you the definition of donate. I wonder what fun stuff is in there. Let me do that before we finish delightful. I think everybody knows what donate means. And I think that everybody understands that it could be money. It could be time. Just your presence sometimes is important or beneficial to people. So give and contribute, so going to a meeting and giving and contributing could be one thing. Just walking down the street, giving, contributing. Listening to people is giving. You're donating yourself. I mean, we use it more when it comes to money and we might call it giving or, giving. When did I start saying, every 2 seconds? That's a bad habit. I'm still working on my ums and my so's. I don't like those either, but I didn't know that I did knows. Okay, moving on. I think we should go to delightful. And this was cute because a couple of my Zumba friends, one put it on my wall and then another one was like, hey, that was my word. So I loved that synchronicity. That was a big one. And I also found it in some of the GA rooms or, the gambling rooms. So I liked it. And I'm having a hard time finding the whole definition. Oh, causing delight, charming. Well, that's lame. Like, obviously, if something is full, like at the end, then the definition is going to have whatever's in the beginning. All right, here we go. This is better. To delight someone. Please greatly or great pleasure. Like, you're such a delight. Yeah. Do you have people like that? They're such a delight. Ice cream's such a delight. See, I'm thinking about my ice cream. And then to please someone greatly. So you delight them. I think that's what's happening right now with the parades for the birthdays and stuff. I think people are getting delighted because they wouldn't expect a celebration. It's hard to execute right now with, lack of parties and stuff. So I think people are trying to delight each other in creative ways. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. I wish and I don't know this for a fact because I don't watch the news, but I wish the news and the media made a better effort at making things delightful instead of, another D word like devastating. But anyway, we're positive. Positive. A high degree of gratification or pleasure, joy, extreme satisfaction. Here's what I'm going to leave you with tonight. Now that I read delight a little bit more in detail. This is what I can tell you. I could guarantee this. I could promise this, guarantee this, share this with you 100,000,000%. A life away from gambling is delightful. It's extraordinary. It could be anything that we want it to be. It could be a drug or alcohol or whatever too. I'm working with someone now, and we're trying to stay away from the drugs as a unit. We're checking in every day and we're trying to get through that. And I think that he's starting to feel delighted, once his body gets through the stuff. But we are. We're on day 4, and I'm so proud of him. I'm delighted that he's made it this far. So lots to be grateful for on the other side. And I think that with determination, we can get there. Beautiful people, I am going to say farewell, and we will do E tomorrow. Have a great night.